The second person in charge in Egypt, who happened to be Joseph, the son of Jacob. He became the second in charge. He had the ring of the Pharaoh. Pharaoh said, when Joseph speaks, it is the Pharaoh speaking. There is no difference. I give him full authority to run all of Egypt for me. So the second person in charge of the entire Egyptian empire was Joseph, the son of Jacob. What did Joseph do? He hadn't revealed to his other brothers that it is Joseph. They thought he was dead. See, they threw him in the well, and then they sold him to these merchants who happened to be Ishmaelites, and they took him as a slave to Egypt, and then they thought he just went and disappeared and died. So Joseph took Simon, one of his brothers, and he imprisoned him in Egypt. Why did he take Simon? Because Simon was the one who said to his other brothers, let's kill Joseph. He said, okay, Simon, I'm going to teach you a lesson. You wanted to kill me earlier when I was a youngster. When I came to bring you food from my father's house, you tried to kill me. So I'm going to imprison you. I'm going to twist your ear a bit. And then the other brothers went back to their father Jacob, and they said, the ruler of Egypt, see, they didn't know it was Joseph as yet. They said, the ruler of Egypt took Simon from us. And now he wants Benjamin. The last son left for Jacob. God took Rachel. He loved Rachel too much, more than God. He took her away. He took Joseph. He loved him too much. He took him away. Benjamin is the last one now. So they came and said, the ruler of Egypt held Simon captive, and he said, go back to your dad and tell him I want Benjamin, the youngest brother out of the 12. The youngest and the most loved by Jacob, the last one. When Jacob heard this, he said, no. This is it. It cannot go any further. Benjamin, I will not hand over. Finito. You see, all of us have limits. And when I get to the limit, we start waving the white flag. You have to take it easy on me, God. Don't push any further. I can't handle it. This will break the camel's back now. It's not a joke anymore. Jacob said, no, forget it. This is the last nail left in the coffin of this world, Rachel. This is the last nail left in the coffin of this world, who is Rachel. Jacob said to them, you have bereaved me. Joseph is no more. Simon is no more. And now Benjamin, and you want to take Benjamin. All these things are against me. Why? Simon is no more. Joseph is no more. And now you want to take Benjamin from me? You find that in Genesis 42:36. He's crying from pain, our father Jacob. Then he says this painful statement in verse 38, same chapter, Genesis 42:38. He says, then you would bring down my gray hair with sorrow to the grave. Do you want to bury me with pain and sorrow? Until when this sorrow and pain is going to be with me? Following me everywhere. Until when? Well, Jacob, say this to yourself. Stop whinging and complaining. And Jacob is all of us. Stop saying, until when, God, are you doing this to me? Until when am I going to be in pain and sorrow? See what you're doing wrong that is still offending God. Maybe that will stop the moment you confess your sin and stop your wrongdoings. Then you would bring down my gray hair with sorrow to the grave. But what happened? See, God knows every single one of us how we think, what we do, and what we will do later on. He knows everything before we even know it. So what did God realize here? He realized that Jacob is not going to let go of Benjamin. So he brings famine. He brings famine to the whole land. Now they're starving to death. So the other brothers, the sons of Jacob, they came to their father Jacob. They said, Dad, you got to give up Benjamin. We cannot go back to Egypt because the only country that was giving food was Egypt. All other countries were starving. All of them starved except Egypt. It's a long story. Read it. So they said, Father, if we don't get food, we will all perish. We're going to die. And the only way to get food, we must go back to Egypt. But the only way to go back to Egypt, Benjamin must be with us. So what do you say, Dad? You're going to give up on Benjamin, or are we all going to die? Then Jacob says, take Benjamin. Finally, he releases the last nail in the coffin of this world, Rachel. The moment the last nail comes out of the coffin of his love for Rachel, the blessings started flowing upon Jacob. You hold on to the nail of pride, the Lord will continue putting you through struggles. You hold on to the nail of envy and jealousy, the Lord will continue putting you through struggles. You hold on to the nail of anger, He will put you through struggles. You hold on to the nail of lust, He will put you through struggles. Whatever thing or nail you're holding on of this world, struggles will never stop until you give up. So when Jacob released Benjamin, that was the last nail coming out of the coffin of Jacob's love for Rachel. Blessings began pouring out of God onto Jacob. But you see, the Lord will always teach you the lesson before blessing you. He will not bless you until He teaches you first. And the moment you've learned your lesson, He will release the blessing. The blessings were there from day one. Before creating you, the blessings were there. But if He had given them to you, you wouldn't have appreciated them and you would have stepped all over them. So what is He going to do, God, here? He needs to teach you, to make you wise enough so that when the blessings are released, you are grateful, thankful, and humble enough to protect those blessings. So the Lord will not release the blessings until He teaches you the lesson and makes sure that you've learned that lesson, my beloved. So when Jacob's sons came back from Egypt the second time, they said to their father Jacob, Joseph is alive. Because when they went back with Benjamin, Joseph revealed himself to them after giving them a bit of a scary, bumpy ride. Then he said, no, I can't be that harsh with them. I better tell them, I'm your brother Joseph, whom you sold to the Ishmaelites when I was a young boy. I became in charge of all of Egypt. And now I'm the reason for your salvation. The one whom you wanted to get rid of ended up being the one who saved them all. So he revealed to them, I'm your brother Joseph. So they went back to their father Jacob. Dad, the one whom you never stopped crying for ever since he got lost, he's alive and he is the ruler of Egypt. Dad, we need to go quickly and we need to take you with us You have to see your son, the one whom you love the most. When Jacob heard this news, which he had given up a long time ago, and because he cried so much after Joseph, he lost his sight. He lost his eyesight, Jacob. He did not see, not even a slight glimpse. Very weak vision, extremely. When he heard this news, he could not believe it. Like he was going to collapse and faint, as if he was going to have a massive heart attack. Now, if it was someone else than Jacob, he would have ran straight away to embrace Joseph in his bosom. I can't believe it. My son, after all these many years, is alive and he's the ruler of Egypt. He would have ran like crazy to embrace his son, to meet him. But what did Jacob do? To the shocking surprise of all of his sons, Jacob says, I'm not going to Egypt to see my beloved, most beloved son. I'm not going to Egypt. They said, what? He said, yes, I'm not coming with you to Egypt. I'm going somewhere else. They said, where are you going? He asks one of his grandchildren. He says, come, my grandchild here, help me, and I want to hop onto this chariot. I want to go to a place called Bethel. Bethel. Bethel, it is Bethel. It's a Hebrew word. It's a compounded word, two in one. Beth in Hebrew or Syriac Aramaic means house. El in Hebrew means God, even in Aramaic. So Bethel means the house of God. Jacob, the son whom you died for, is alive. He said, I'm not going there. Where you want to go? I'm going to the house of God, Bethel. They were all shocked. Looks like our dad not only lost his vision, he lost his mind as well. So he sits in that chariot and off he goes to Bethel, the house of God. Now this was the lesson God wanted to teach Jacob all along. Jacob came to Bethel, the house of God, and said to God, Joseph is alive. Do I go to see him or not? He's asking God, do I go or not? What do you say, God? Finally, Jacob, you learned your lesson. Wow. His son, whom he loves the most, is alive, chooses to go to the house of God and asks God, do I go to see Joseph or not? Jacob, Habib Albi, my sweetheart, why don't you get this from the very beginning? See, you need to ask God always before you do anything. You need to ask God always before you do anything. You need to ask God always before you do anything. Jacob learned his lesson eventually. Joseph is alive. Do I go to see him or not? I, Jacob, will do as you will, Lord. The Lord said, I'm going to throw in a party now. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy this moment. I'm going to cherish this moment. This moment I have been waiting for a very long time to come. And finally it came. Jacob, my child, is asking me, shall I do it or not? Because I want to do your will, Lord. Finally, Jacob learned his lesson. After doing what? Losing the love of his life, Rachel. Losing the most beloved son of his, Joseph. The second most beloved, Benjamin. Losing his eyesight. Living in famine. Went through hell. And finally he got the lesson. I cannot do anything unless God gives me the green light. And Jacob is all of us. All of us. What does it benefit a man if he gains the whole world, yet at the end loses himself? The Lord Jesus says. So many men have gained the world, but lost God. And since they lost God, they lost themselves. Because without God, no one can do it. No one. So many people became famous and died and perished. So many people became powerful and conquering emperors, build massive empires. They all perished from the face of this planet. Where are the empires? Where are the Egyptian, the Babylonian, the Assyrian, the Macedonian, the Roman Empire? Where are they? Where is Hitler? Where are the most powerful, influential figures? Where are the Hollywood celebrities? So many of them are gone with the wind. So what? You've gained the world, but you've lost God. Because you've gained the world your way, not God's way. And whatever you achieve your way, outside of God's way, you are a loser. You've gained absolutely zilch, zero. Do it the Lord's way, for the Lord's sake, I beg you, my child. Do it the Lord's way. I beg you, do it the Lord's way.